welcome to our game, our Fall of Magic game. Super excited to get back to this. It's been probably 3 weeks since we last played, and courtesy of Gen Con and Con Crud and all that awesome stuff. But all of us are really excited to get back into playing the super fun, heartfelt game that we're playing for a good cause. As all of the games in this time slot will be for, we are fundraising for Trans Lifeline. And for those of you unfamiliar with Trans Lifeline, it's a 501c3 dedicated to improving the quality of trans lives by responding to the critical needs of the community with various services, advocacy, education. The way that you can help us fundraise for this amazing organization is to donate. And we have some fun rewards for the donations that will get you involved with the game. And to see those rewards, the specific tiers, you can use the rewards command with a link to the campaign. And the actual rewards themselves, quick reference, are listed below us in the overlay. But I will be keeping track of donations as they come in, because they will not appear during the game on the overlay, like with Streamlabs, for example, because we are using different service for this particular fundraising campaign. Our fundraising goal is only $100, but I hope we can get there, because every little bit counts and is important. So thank you all for hanging out and helping us get money to this great organization, doing a lot of great work. So we're going to go ahead and kick it into the game now. We are down a player, Anthony, but that's okay. I'll start with myself. I'm Nox. You can find me here on the Varying Earls channel. I'm a member of the Creative Council. I love Fall of Magic. I've been able to play it. I've started playing it a million times and never got a chance to finish. So I'm really excited to actually play through this whole game with these amazing folks. The character, my pronouns are she, her, and my character that I'm playing, this is our second session, is Fawn, Raven of Ravenhall, and Fawn's pronouns are she, her as well. And you can see that in our map, our little tokens. If you're not familiar with Fall of Magic, it's a GM-less storytelling game by Heart of the Unicorn. I highly encourage you to check it out. We are using the digital version on Roll20. I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to the friend on my right. Abby, introduce yourself, your pronouns, your character, and their pronouns as well.
Yeah, I'm Abby. I use she/they pronouns, and remember what the title of my character is. And I'm playing River Golem of Ravenhall, whose pronouns are they, them.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Last but not least, my friend below me, Anders. Introduce yourself, your pronoun, and your character.
Hello, I'm Anders. You can find me at Anders_D_K on the internets. I use he, him pronouns, and today I am playing Caspian, Fox of Mistwood, who uses they, he pronouns.
Fantastic. All right, let's jump into things. Let me actually get myself to... Well, to start, Abby, who's playing the part of River, had to leave early our last session. So we did leave River back in Oak Hills. And I will redirect the view to there. So in the spirit of this game, it's all sort of in the moment. It's a zero prep game. You just sort of jump in. Abby, what do you think River was doing back in the Oak Hills, and what did the journey to join the rest of the group in the Stormguard Mountains look like?
They stayed behind. They had a feeling they were supposed to. So they stayed behind, and they took in nature, and they they took in it, the silence and the quiet, and then once they felt it was time, they went on. They followed the path they the they believed the party had taken. It was a nice journey. It was a quiet journey, and they spent the entire time of it just talking to themselves. Uh, and they practiced something they've not had a lot of time to practice recently, which is signing and talking to themselves. So having an entire two sides of a conversation through just talking and signing to help themselves talk better and sign better and just think better. So it's just kind of been a cleansing experience of feeling better about everything.
Awesome. I love it. So you, if you want to go ahead and move your token down to join us in Stormguard Mountains. What is that? What is the journey really just still practicing River's speaking abilities the whole way, interacting with like different people maybe or something like that?
Yeah, just anyone they meet, they talk to, they sign if need be. Sometimes they just will like. Sometimes they'll seem to be signing completely nonsense things, but it's just them like stream of consciousness signing to get better. So it'll just be like dog, red, chicken, dog, just random words. Just like their brain is just letting themselves think. And whatever comes out, that's what they sign, just to help them. And they like it. They like the concept of stream of consciousness.
Awesome. All right, so we pick our story back up in Stormguard Mountains. I think when we stopped, I think we were done with this area. Maybe. What do you all remember?
I think we had done quite a few scenes in this area, yeah. So yes, we were done with it. I don't know if we wanted to do any scenes with River.
Oh,
when they join us here.
Good point. Yeah. So River, if any of those look interesting to you, so there's one that we came across that you didn't get a chance to experience. That is the Scouting Ahead prompt, which I should have left my my little manual I printed out for myself to remember these little details. But the way that sort of prompt works is you would roll a d6, which you can just do inside of Roll20, and you start the prompt describing the danger you fear, and then you roll to see what the outcome is, and then sort of describe that as well. So you don't have to do that one, but that was a new one we encountered here, I believe. But the prompts in this area are Scouting Ahead, Taking Shelter, Storm Queen Pass, and I think that's it. So do you want to do one of these here?
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Well, unfortunately we do have to move on without our poor Knight of Stormguard, but I think that will make an interesting place to come back to. Because maybe for some reason, our knight stayed behind in the mountains, avoiding actual Stormguard Keep, or maybe they get waylaid in Stormguard Keep.
Oh.
We'll figure that out in our next game. But for now, we'll head over to Castle Stormguard. If everyone wants to move their tokens over there. And if you'll recall, yeah, there's some fun ones here. If you'll recall, someone does play the Magus. And the prompt for the Magus is the hospitality of... Let's move these little guys out of the way. Alana Storm Queen. So does anyone want to be the Magus for this journey?
I would be happy to be the magus for this part of the journey.
Yay, thank you. Somebody be the magus. Yeah, so a friendly reminder, you're just describing sort of what that journey looks like when we arrive based on the prompt for Castle Stormguard.
So as we're traveling through the mountains, there comes a point where we sort of turn around an edge, and what comes into view in the distance is this sturdy, well-constructed stone keep that's very much built into the mountainside itself. And it is almost intimidating in presence. It is a fortress rather than a welcoming town or village. But as we approach, the doors are open, the trellis is up, and the people, despite the sort of foreboding sense of the location itself, are very welcoming. They invite us in, and when they hear that we're traveling with the Magus, take us straight to the castle and introduce us to Elena Storm Queen. She is intense, like the moments before a thunderstorm. She seems to sort of crackle with this energy and intensity, not loud, more almost electric. And she provides us all with rooms and a place to stay. Now we're here.
I love that, Anders. That was so good. All right. Well, does anyone see a scene that jumps out at them that they want to do with themselves or other people?
I mean, I do see one, but I also just talked. So if someone else sees one, they should go first. But I do have one in mind.
Yeah, I see one that I'm kind of intrigued by, and I have a cute idea for.
Go for it.
Yeah, it is. There I am. I'm down there. Commoner's Hall and a beautiful dancer.
Yes.
It's just River. River finds this lovely, just finds the Commoner's Hall, goes in, sits down, watches the dancing going on, and notices one of the dancers. She's stunning. Tall and lithe, and it's River's just taken aback. Has never seen someone move this gracefully. It's almost supernatural how graceful this woman is. But it's not. It's just a really well-trained dancer. And River just watches for 1 hour, 2 hours, and eventually the woman notices. Comes over, very sweet, and offers to dance with River. And River blushes, just the most color in their skin. And it just stammers out that they can't, and laughs, and then helps, and then just says, "Everyone can dance. Let me show you." And helps River up, and that's how the night continues. River dancing with this beautiful woman who just takes time, helps River dance, sees that River has trouble in the beginning, but by the end of the night, River's dancing. Not as good as the woman, but better than they thought they ever could. And the night ends with a kiss on the cheek.
Oh, I love it. Amazing. That was really sweet. I liked that a lot. Anders, if you want to take it away. Also, another friendly reminder, if you ever want to invite anyone into your scene to play an NPC, you can just kind of leave it open. Hey, I'd like for someone to play this character, or ideally that's what you would do, let people sort of self-select into that. But
So I was looking at the Tomb of the Storm King, which I thought was very interesting because the prompt there is what you inherit. And I was kind of picturing a scene with Fawn down here in this tomb.
Alrighty.
I think the tomb itself is very kind of cold, underground, very much kind of how you'd picture a stone tomb in a castle in a mountain. And the two of us have kind of gone down and are sort of standing in front of a sort of stone statue carved to the likeness of the Storm King that rests above the tomb. And Caspian, I kind of look over at you and what was your family like, Fawn?
I don't really remember. I try not to think about them too much because people at Ravenhall became my family. And they were great. I never really knew where I sort of fit in with everything, and especially since the Magus seemed to take a special interest in me, I didn't want anyone else to think I was being favored or be disliked. But they were all still very nice, and yeah. I don't know. What was your family like?
Assigned to you. My family was large and changed often. People came and went, brought things, left with things. We never stayed in one place. But we always carried things of the people who are not with us to remember them. And I wondered if you were carrying something to remember home with.
It's just the uniform we wear. And I gesture at the sort of feathers on my shoulders and various raven symbols, sort of in patterns on my cloak that I wear and that sort of thing.
Your uniform looks heavy.
Yeah, it is. Anyways, I think that sounds really cool. That you did so. Was your family different people?
My family was a community more than a house. But I had parents, and I reach down and I pull out a small book and I open it and there are flowers pressed into it, and I carry this for my mother. I flip through a couple pages and pull out a sort of pressed bit of lavender. And then I go and I place it on the top of the tomb. And now she has been here too. Puts the book and put it away.
Caspian, that's so nice. Okay. I guess I pluck a feather from my shoulder. And I hesitantly walk forward and just place it on top of the tomb and step back. Yeah?
Now your family has been here too.
I like that. Thank you, Caspian.
We inherit their fears, their responsibilities. They are heavy like a uniform.
Yeah.
But it is good to take them with us.
And I think Fawn walks out of the tomb at that point. After Caspian's natural 20 on perception and insight or whatever that was. Hot damn.
I'll let you go and take another moment and then also turn and follow you. Footsteps silent on the stone. Like a fox.
Yeah, like a fox. Super exciting! We got a $20 donation. Freaking awesome. Thank you, whoever did that, anonymous. Even though I put in the box, tell me your Twitch handle. It's like, no. So thank you so much. Got that right in the middle. Saw that right in the middle of the scene. I was like, ah. So it's actually for a flashback. I did not think we were gonna get flashbacks. So, I hate to disappoint, because the request is for a flashback to the first time the group was brought together and introduced to the Magus and given their task. We don't have all of our players here, so we'll have to just make do with who's available. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and jump back in time, back to wait, what is it? Or Abby, get in on this. So yeah, let's relocate our camera to that. If everyone wants to move their tokens as well back up to Ravenhall.
Oh, we're going backwards on the map.
We're going backwards. This is unprecedented in Fall of Magic. You never go backwards. So I don't think you do.
Where is Ravenhall? Oh, it's all the way up here.
It's
okay.
all we are going back to the very beginning.
Back in time.
Back. And then the Magus is coming with us as well. Let's go snag our little Magus friend.
I love the Magus being a tree.
Yeah.
Did I say that last time when we made them the tree? I love it so much. It's so perfect.
It is perfect. We are sheltered underneath their branches. All right, excellent. We're back at Ravenhall. All right. Let me get back to the actual description so I can make sure to honor it. So our flashback scene is the first time the group was brought together and introduced to the Magus and given their task. So the way I'm sort of envisioning this in my mind is maybe all of us together as a group versus individual scenes. And the Magus is there asking all of us as a group to escort them back to Umbra. Does that seem like that might be a way to work that? Or do any of you have ideas? I mean, this is all...
I like that.
Yeah.
As us, like the first introduction to one another is very interesting.
Yeah, because I don't think we really did that. We kind of had like individual scenes, but we didn't really all of us together. So yeah, I think that's a good one. I'll go ahead and play the Magus in this scene to sort of like set the scene. So I think we're in the Magus's quarters at Ravenhall, and they're in the top of one of the towers, and it is cool because of the stone. There is a carpet on the floor, like a rug. It's aged. Comfortable chairs around the edges of the walls. A heavy desk where the Magus works. And I think we're all in there sitting. And the Magus is there. If I remember correctly, I think they had a cane. I feel like, it was like a cane / staff. It was like their magic staff that doubled as a cane, I think. So they are there. Their hood is fully up, sort of leaning on their cane, and they look at the group, all of us assembled there, and there's a sort of like feeble voice that comes out, preceded by a cough, and the Magus says, "Thank all of you for coming, heeding my call. I hate to impose any of this on any of you, ask you to leave your families, your friends, but magic is dying all around us, and I must travel back to Umbra, but I cannot do it on my own. So, my favor that I ask of you is, will you go with me?"
There's like a chink, chink, chink of metal, and Caspian lifts up their hands, which are currently in manacles because they've recently been caught stealing, and kind of gestures and puts hands out as if to ask, will this get me out of this?
I think with just the barest of hand gestures, the manacles fall free.
Rub my wrist. Thank you.
And Magus looks at you, River.
River just, very slowly nods. His duty will do. Gladly.
Very good, River. And if someone wants to drive the Magus for a second, or the rest of the scene.
Sure.
Fawn, who I think isn't sitting with the group, but is standing maybe by the door behind the Magus. And just has this look of hesitance or uncertainty on their face, and kind of points to themselves wide-eyed. You don't mean me, though. I'm just here to watch the door.
No, Fawn. I do mean you. You complete the foursome.
But who will watch the door?
If I am not here, the door does not need to be watched.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay.
Good.
And Fawn looks over at River. Caspian just sort of waves. Hi, I'm Fawn. I work here. Not anymore, maybe?
Hello, Fawn. I am Caspian. I got caught. I don't have a choice but go.
Oh. Okay.
River just,
What does River do?
River very slowly just waves. Just, River also work here. Why
Yeah.
not?
I think I've seen you around. Well, it's good to meet all of you.
You too.
I think we'll get along fine.
I think we will get along very well.
Okay. Okay.
I promise not to steal from you.
Would be polite.
River has a point. And I am one of the ravens of Ravenhall, so if you steal from me, it's gonna be bad.
Also, no deniability.
Right, because it's just gonna be us.
No stealing.
Good. Is there anything else you want to do there, or do we feel satisfied?
I think that's an appropriately awkward first meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cute. Okay. Let's go back to Castle Stormguard. Let's move all of our tokens back.
Suddenly, in the future.
Our flashback is over.
Here we go.
Just gonna follow all the slowly moving tokens. Alright. Awesome.
Oh, there is a good one right here that looks real good. But Nox, you have not picked a scene yet, so if Nox, you would like to pick a scene first.
Oh, I am enjoying being a passenger on this ride, so if something jumps out at you, then by all means. And I did have a scene. I had a scene with you, so.
I know, but I think someone else also knew what I meant because there was a ping on the map, the Court of Swords.
Mm.
Oh.
I think it'd be very, very cool to have all of us in that scene, as well as the Magus.
Can I make...
I'm just... How do the numbers work again?
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I suggest we hold off on that? And that's the way we'll what sort of
transition to the
Thank
next.
That's the way we'll transition Anthony's character back in.
Perfect.
Because I think they defected, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we want to maybe hold off on that one, so we can have that scene with Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are we planning on staying in Castle Stormguard all of today?
I mean, we could do whatever we want. So, do any other scenes jump out to anybody that you'd want to do?
Well, what else is there? An apology.
There's Hall of Knights, which is, the prompt is just the best. The Stockades, a sincere apology. We've done the Tomb, and of course we've done the Commoner's Hall as well.
I don't know.
We can also just move on. That's fine as well.
Yeah. And maybe the Court of Swords we do next time as the way it comes back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, none of them jump out for me either, to be honest. And I don't really want to do the Court of Swords without Anthony, so.
I like the prompt, a sincere apology, but I have nothing beyond liking the prompt, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, but who would I apologize to? I don't have anything there, so.
Right, yeah, I'm with you.
No, so what does the best mean?
Whatever you want. So the title is Hall of Knights. The prompt is the best, or I should say that's the location or whatever. Oh my gosh, we're almost to the islands. No, we're not.
I have a scene.
Oh, okay.
I've got one.
Excellent.
It's in the Hall of Knights. It's the best. I think the three of us, not the Magus. The Magus is
Napping.
currently taking a nap or speaking to the Storm Queen, or
Yeah.
they're busy.
Yeah.
The three of us are at a little table, and it's like maybe we got in at a really weird time, so it's not technically a meal time, but we didn't eat a real meal, so we're all really hungry.
Yeah.
So we're like at this small table near the kitchens, and the best cook in the land, as what they like to call themselves, is treating us to a meal. That's what I got.
I love it.
It's probably because I'm still eating lunch myself and food is on my mind, but
Yeah.
that's what I got.
Okay. What is Caspian doing in this scene? Set it for us.
So Caspian is very politely taking every single dish that's offered and eating a few bites and then pushing it away so he doesn't fill up and can keep eating things because they just keep bringing out more food, and you can tell by the look on his face that he is very full and does not want to eat anymore, but doesn't know how to say no to these people who are being very nice. And just starts frantically looking between the two of you
River's just eating every single dish. It's just dish goes down full, moves aside empty. Dish goes down. And it's just River should not be able to eat as much as River is eating. It's just somehow they're just eating all of it, and they look so happy.
when no one's looking, leftovers onto your plate.
Yeah.
And they get eaten as well.
I think Fawn is just picking at her plate, being used to eating sort of what everyone else eats at Ravenhall, sort of. What is the name of that? In the military where they all go together.
Grub, mess grub. I don't know.
Yeah, a mess hall situation. Yeah, I think she's just sort of picking at it, used to eating that way. Carefully, not taking too much, eating enough to prepare for the journey ahead. That sort of thing.
This is so much food.
Yeah, it's really wasteful.
Very.
Do you think that they give it? What do you think they do with their leftovers?
I suspect they feed animals with it and not the people.
Oh, well, that's not. That's the worst kind of wasteful.
I do not know how to politely tell them to stop feeding me.
Maybe we just get up and leave.
That seems not very polite either.
But we could just do it.
Won't we get in trouble?
I don't think so. We're gonna leave anyways.
I am supposed to be on good behavior.
But you've been on the best behavior already.
What do you think, River?
Just looks up, finishes their bite, and goes, yes, getting up is good. Too much for me. Happy pigs?
Let's go.
Go.
Oh, okay.
I'll make cover. I go, oh, excuse me. And I get up with my plate and walk over to whoever is in charge or whatever. I'm like, I think I found a hair in this.
I like jump over the table and start to like push River out. Like, okay, quick, we go quick now.
If it goes as quick as possible.
We're probably opposites in that sense.
Yeah.
I can't. I am allergic to hair, to eating hair. So I can't eat this. And if there's hair in this, there might be hair in the whole pot. And sorry, but it was great before I found the hair. And I just sort of shove it into their chest so they'll take it. Okay. We have a long journey ahead with the Magus, so. So full. Great. It was. Thank you. And the Magus says thanks too. Goodbye.
Stunned cook just kind of waves, holding their pot.
And Fawn just sort of like backs away slowly. And then darts away.
All right.
Good stuff. Right. Do we want to go ahead and move on now?
Sure.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pressure us, but just checking in.
Yeah. Let's keep on moving.
Keep on keeping on. I have never been this far before.
Yay! Me neither.
Well, yeah. Okay, Anders. Right. I'm excited. So, where even are we?
Is it a split path?
Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yes, there's a fork here. We can either go to Mouth of the Deep, which is underground, which actually will flip the map over.
Oh.
Ooh.
Or we can continue on this, what looks like a rail location?
It's a train.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually don't know what that little,
little torch thingy is?
yeah, so I'm going to open up my PDF copy, which, again, oh wait, is this over here? No, I guess I put it up. Wish I would have left that out. Open that up and see what that means. I might just be telling us to flip the map over, but
The map gets a little confusing over here.
it does. Let's see. Where are you, Fall of Magic? There we go. So yeah, if you if you two want to decide and lead on where we go to next in the fork, I'll look up what the torch thing means. I have an idea, but I will check it to be sure.
I'm both very attracted to the train car, but I'm also very attracted to going on, like flipping the map over, because that just seems
Sounds
really
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
So
I agree. On both counts, I'm just like, train? What's underground?
I will say the fact that it's called the Ice Rail makes me think of Snowpiercer a little bit, which is like some very interesting dystopian inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Nox? Would you like to go to the cold of the train or underground into the deep?
So the torch does mark the deep way, a road that leads to an additional section of map. Look on the back of the scroll. We can use the deep way to travel to the map on the back. We find the matching torch icon on the other side and continue from that point along the dashed road. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really torn too because I obviously am a bit of a train enthusiast. I took a train to get to Gen Con and back. But I've known about. I know that there's a back section to this. I know there's also islands where you draw from a deck of cards to see what your islands are. So this is a tough one for me. Maybe we just go for it and switch it up because we've been doing these sort of standard prompt-based locations. I mean, it's still going to be the same gameplay, but maybe we switch things up and flip the map over?
Yeah, let's flip the map over.
Flip that map!
Flip that map!
Flip that map!
Let's do it!
Let's do it.
I'm going to, because we're going underground and we're flipping the map, thematically change the lighting.
I love your lighting situation. That is so cool.
Aha! Underground!
Abby turns a light on or off? I'm not quite sure. Just have it.
Yeah, I turned it down. I turned it off and then onto the lowest setting.
Okay, I love that.
Darker. But not by much.
Okay, so I believe I've moved us all. Not quite sure how to tell where we're supposed to go because the map is obviously not physically a physical item.
Whoa.
There's a lot happening here.
Oh, wow.
All the way over there.
Take your time, roll 20. It has... there it is.
Oh, they have names. Okay, hold on. What's the name of ours? The name of the one that we came in was Mouth of the Deep. What lights the way? I think.
Yeah, so that's on the right side.
Yeah, that's surprising.
So I guess we're going backwards. We're going from right to left instead of left to right.
Huh.
Should we... Was there a magus prompt to get us here?
I think what lights your way, Mouth of the Deep, is the prompt.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that is the prompt. Let me go ahead and get some tokens set up here. Can everyone remind me? Oh, actually, I don't need to do that. I already have two windows open. I'm going to go ahead and get tokens set up. If someone else wants to take the role of the magus to describe the journey while I do this. Who wants to be the magus? So, so you're describing sort of the journey, but also what this new location is like, through the eyes of the magus, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, this trip from Castle Stormguard is quiet, eerily quiet. And then, no animal noise, nothing. And it starts to almost get unsettling. And then the path appears in the goat. And the magus, and then all of us realize there's a path that goes down and a path that goes up. The path up is cold and quiet, and we find out why. It is large and looming, and there's a train station, which is maybe not the most expected thing on the side of a mountain, but who knows. But the other way is down into this large cave entrance with
Stalactites
what?
are the ones that hang.
Thanks. I was trying to. Stalactites hanging down, and it almost looks like a foreboding face with fangs, and it looks floating. But the magus has a feeling and leads us. Just This is the way. This is our way.
Okay.
And so we go down. We go into a very quiet cavern. The further we go in, the more noise. We hear the squeak of bats and the drip of water, and we hear pleasant natural noises. And once in a while we hear something that we don't know what it means. It's dark, and it's dark for a while, and then there are lights. Just torches. Torches every like 50 or so feet down the side of the path. No one knows why they're lit.
All right. Awesome. So lit down here. Okay. Help me out here and remind me what token everybody had. Do you remember?
I was the egg.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was the candle.
The one that's burning or the one that's been...
The one that's burning.
Okay. Awesome. What was I? Oh my gosh.
What was I?
What am I? Okay, I was the egg. I think I was the egg. Maybe? No. What the hell was I?
You were either the river or the ocean. I don't remember which one of that coin you were.
Yes, I am the ocean.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't help that I couldn't remember what all of our tokens were because I'm just used to looking at them, not actually remembering what the hell we've picked for ourselves. Okay, I think I've got everyone represented down there. Alright. So, we're down in the underground, which is pretty cool.
We went underground. What were we thinking?
I don't know. Whose bright idea was this? Okay. So I guess our next location is the Hanging City. And my cat's going crazy.
Kitty.
Kitties! And the hospitality of the Rag Draggers? Is that what that says?
I think so.
Cat. Not right now. Okay. I'll go ahead and be the Magus for the purpose of the getting to the Hanging City.
Sounds good.
So I think that with the lights that Abby described as we go underground, we see appearing that the Magus, being sort of this all-knowing individual, leads us confidently down this lit path. And through sort of a larger cavernous opening, there's a faint glow that emits from it. And as we all approach and the opening gets larger and larger, it's big enough probably to fit a Stormguard castle through. And as you enter the cavern, you see the Hanging City itself hanging from the ceiling on sort of thick rope and chain, and the rope and chain creaks and makes clanking noises that sort of create this ever-present background noise that echoes off of the cavern walls. And there are rope bridges hanging in between them, various ladders. Interestingly enough, there are also individuals swinging from platform to platform on ropes. Yeah. And I think as we approach, I do not have good music for this. Oh wait, maybe I do. Let's see. This might be a little too upbeat, but that's fine. Fuck it, whatever. As the Magus and the party enters, sliding from the top, one of the longest, thickest ropes in the entire Hanging City, is this person in rags that flow behind them like scarves, and they leap off the bottom, land with a thud in heavy boots, and they stand up with this sort of wicked grin across their face, and they hold their arms out wide towards the Magus. Magus! It's so good to see you. How long has it been since you've been down here to visit us? And from the ceiling just unfurls ropes, and down slide more individuals dressed similarly, and they just land thud, 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 thud on the ground, and they come to stand in front of this person or next to this person, the Magus turns around, gestures widely at their much smaller group, and says, "Everyone, these are the Rag Draggers." And the person that walked forward sort of like has this shining, beaming smile, and says, "Yep, that's right. Welcome to the Hanging City. It's a pleasure to have you." And leads the rest of the group to their quarters at the top of the city. We all sort of like have to climb up various rope ladders and ropes, walk across various rope bridges, and the place is, for being underground, is very magical, and just seems to have a liveliness to it and a life. That's it. That was very long, but thank you for going on that journey with me.
I loved it.
I did not know what I was going to do, and I was like, okay, here we go. I don't know who the hell the Rag Draggers are. We're going to find out together right now.
Oh, I like this place.
Yeah.
I want to stay here forever. So I think the Hanging City is this big old sucker up here. I didn't realize.
Yeah. It's all this stuff up top.
Okay, let me move our Magus over here and move myself up into the actual... Yeah, I just made all that shit up, not even seeing the picture. So...
You did a very good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game's done a very good job at evoking a certain environment. Wow, there's a lot of cool stuff in this one.
Yeah.
I love this one. I want to do all the scenes.
I know. Poor Anthony. I'm so sad he couldn't be here. That's all right.
Yeah. So, my reaction while Nox was doing that was because I was on the Twitch channel, and something happened.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Nox, look on the Twitch.
Yeah.
Just scroll up to the top.
Oh, wait, what the fuck?
What?
What? Wait a minute. What just happened?
Is that Samantha Darcy?
I don't know. It says anonymous.
Someone donated 130.
And there's
Oh
no...
my God.
There's no prompt? Like, I mean, like no thing? Okay, well that happened. Well, okay. speechless right now. uh, Sam, you said you liked this game. Well, I could make I have educated guesses I can make about that. But since it's officially anonymous, thank you for the $130 donation. That was very unexpected, and yeah. Okay, cool. Oh shit. Him. That's a thing that happened. Well, we're just gonna carry on then.
Okay. I have a scene.
Okay.
I think this will just be Caspian. I'm gonna go to the Hanging Commons. And I think as soon as we were welcomed into this city, Caspian just like lit up. Like there's been a little sadness that we didn't go to Mistwood because that's his home and they really wanted to maybe go home for a little bit, but here they're like, it's an underground forest. And they kind of run off from the group very, very quickly and just go explore the whole city by themselves. Are just, at times you like actually see them like leaping over like bridges and like running through things just off in the distance, having the time of their life. It's a giant playground. And they at one point are going through this common area and they kind of look over and one of the rag dusters is also there and they like make eye contact and the rag duster starts to climb one of their ropes and then leaps to a building and Caspian's like, okay, it's like a challenge. It starts to do it as well and then they start racing each other, like jumping from building to building, and it gets really close and then they both go for a jump that's maybe too big, too long, something you probably shouldn't have jumped by yourself, and like both barely make it over to the other side and just sort of like tumble and collapse on the ground next to each other. Just this like quiet laughter and like exhausted panting, and just kind of like look over. And there's this sort of shared moment. And Caspian doesn't come back and join the group for a couple hours. That's all we're gonna say about that. Knocks your face.
Hey, everyone's having a nice time.
They're in their element. They're having fun.
Okay, great. I love it. Okay.
Oh.
That was beautiful. Thank you. That was great. Okay. Does a scene jump out to anybody else? I didn't even bother to look at them. Probably should do that.
I'm trying to decide, so if you have one that you like, go ahead.
Let me just stick Caspian over here in the Hanging Commons for a while.
Having some good, clean fun.
Okay. Oh, ooh. Man, there's some good ones, but I just don't know what to pick.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be one for Fawn, by herself at the rope hoistway. The rope hoistway. And I think in this scene, Fawn sort of sneaks off by herself as well. And it just sort of follows, is really just observing the city for the period of time that they're here. And follow sort of a group of people that are walking with a purpose. And over a boardwalk, of course, high above the city itself, or the floor of the cavern, rather. And the sort of like boardwalk walks near sort of the edge of the cavern, almost like this pit that's not illuminated. And people, the group of people that Fawn's been following, they walk to the edge of this boardwalk. And there are all sorts of like pulleys and levers and other contraptions. And Fawn just sort of like watches from behind a corner, just very curious but not wanting to get in the way or be seen. And she watches as they all don goggles and with circle lenses, and they leap onto some of these hanging ropes and they just plummet down into this dark hole. And people on top are sort of like holding on to the top of the rope as it descends into this pit. And a few moments pass, and there's a bunch of like yelling of, "Lower the rope! Hold tight! Raise it up!" And eventually, these individuals with goggles are lifted back up, and they are holding in their arms various like crates of items, of metals, and what looks like ores maybe. And on their back, they wear backpacks, and those are also filled to bursting. And they just sort of leap up and head back to the city. And a couple more of the group stay behind. And when these individuals are lifted up, they're lifted up on some sort of combined pulley system that's connected. And they hold in their hands the corpse of some dead animal or creature. And just sort of, when they get to the top, bag this sort of large bug looking like thing and march it back into the interior of the city, where they're gonna do who the heck knows what with it. That's it. And Fawn heads back.
Yeah. I have to go with this. Scene idea of River in the vertical gardens temptation. I think this is also a River only scene. Just getting to the vertical gardens takes them a little bit. They're nowhere near as steady as Caspian up here. And they take their time, go from bridge to bridge, and so they get to these gardens, and they find beauty you don't expect to see on the ground. Beautiful, beautiful garden with vibrant colors and light, keeping it alive, and it's so beautiful. And where it goes along, and starts to hear this singing, this beautiful, beautiful singing, and they follow the path. They try to keep to the path because they don't know what they'd be stepping on. And they don't want to mess up anyone's garden. And they come upon this person, this beautiful person just singing a song that they don't know, that they like half understand. But the feeling of it is come, sit, enjoy, come, happiness. Just a very happy, alluring song. One might even say a siren song. And River walks over, and the person just smiles at River, and then returns to singing, and River's captivated and doesn't want, and just sits down. And as this person sings, River doesn't want to leave. There's a temptation here to just not leave. There's a temptation in the song of stay. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just stay. And River's sitting and listening and wants to stay. It feels good. It would be nice to stay. And then the person stops singing, and smiles, and holds out a hand. And River smiles up at them, takes their head, and just falls back into the grass. And just stares up at the ceiling for a bit. And then a soft plump on the ground. River looks over. Person's laying down too. And River feels a hand in their hand. And River stays there for a while, as they were instructed to. Well, shows do. They gave in to temptation.
That was a roller coaster. I was like, are they a siren? Is River in trouble? River, you're in danger.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Everyone's found love, except for Vaughn, who was like, how does this place even work?
Is it love?
Well, fair. Yeah.
Well, it's love for the afternoon.
Love for the afternoon. Mood. Awesome. I think I kind of want to do a dirty job with everybody.
Okay.
I don't really have anything else but that to go on. And I think I kind of want the Magus to be there as well.
I guess I'll come over. Just having fun over where I was.
Well, this is, you've had your fun.
Yes, I know.
Now it's time for a dirty job.
Well, hey, it may have been a dirty job earlier.
Abby went there.
Why not?
sort of music should this be? I don't know. We'll just pick what I've been playing, which I don't know how to actually put on repeat. How do I play on repeat? I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. So for this scene, I think that the sort of leader of the Ragdraggers approaches the Magus and tells them that who I think I'm going to give. I think I'm going to give the leader of the Ragdraggers she/her pronouns. And I think she approaches the Magus and basically is like, "Hey, I'm happy for you to be here. We have a long history together, but I if you're going to stay here, I'm going to have to ask for a favor." Anders. And the Magus, says to her, "Anything. Just tell me what you need." And I think when our scene starts, I think it's the leader of the Ragdraggers approaching us and saying to us, "All right, so this is what I need. We've got some people living on the floor of the caverns, sort of eating off the scraps, if you will. That's fine, I get it, they're trying to make a living, but they also happen to steal something from me. Something important. A letter. And I need you all's help getting that letter back from those ground dwellers. Any questions?"
You want us to steal it back?
"Well, yeah, of course. That's why I'm here talking to you."
What about a deal?
"What you thinking?"
Maybe give them something they would want or something you want?
"They're already living off of our scraps, so I don't know what more we could give them."
You could let them live here.
"Well, I mean, they gotta pay, though."
Why?
"Because you can't just live here without carrying your own weight, you know what I mean?"
Help them find jobs.
"Look, if you want to have this conversation with them, by all means. I just need the scroll back, not a lot of trouble from them, and preferably if it can happen without them knowing. Is that amenable?"
Suppose.
If
I look at the mages.
They step forward, place a hand on the leader of the Ragdraggers' shoulder, and the leader sort of looks annoyed. And the Magus says, "It'll be fine."
Fine.
Fawn looks very nervous throughout this whole thing. Yeah, so I guess do we want to roleplay through the actual job itself, or just sort of group describe how it went and roleplay through the end, or just sort of group describe the whole thing? We can do whatever we want. Or some other suggestion I didn't make.
it's probably too much to role play through the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree.
But we could like role play the big important moments of it.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you think might be a big important moment?
Well, I guess maybe right now, figuring out how we're gonna do it. Like, 'cause it seems like some of us have some reservations about it.
I think we all have reservations about stealing things from people.
I mean, Caspian will steal anything, but at the moment he doesn't feel like he should steal from these people. So
Yeah.
maybe after we've kind of left the rag, I'm gonna say rag dwellers, and I think that's incorrect. What is it? The rag
Dragger.
draggers. And we're a ways a bit. They might look to the group, and I like stealing. I'm here because I steal. This does not feel like a situation where we should steal.
Impolite.
Yeah, we don't even know what the scroll is or why it was taken. We don't have any information at all. We're just told to do it.
I don't like the idea that the ground dwellers cannot live here.
Yeah. What? And Fawn just kind of looks at River sort of helplessly.
Rivers also just don't know why they can't. Seems impolite that they cannot.
You are correct, River. Perhaps they do not want to live here with impolite company.
Or perhaps there is a reason they can't work.
I think we should talk to them rather than sneak.
Be polite.
What do you think, Fawn?
Yeah, I think, I think we should try to talk to them. Maybe secretly? Not all of us together? So that way, if it ends up really being something where they definitely took something that didn't belong to them, we can try to take it back. But
Plausible deniability.
yeah, whatever that is.
Perhaps I could find the scroll and be ready to take it. And you go speak to them. And if that goes poorly, I steal.
You want who to go speak to them?
You, Fawn.
Sure, I'll do it. I'm very great at talking to people.
You are.
You are. And the best at speaking right now.
Well, Caspian's a very good speaker as well.
Yes.
Caspian's a much better speaker than I am. But Caspian's...
Caspian is a much better stealer than speaker.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. Of options, Fawn, you are best.
Okay, I'll do it.
River,
Yes.
you speak very good too.
Thank you. But I am better at watching and relaying.
Will you watch out for Fawn?
Of course. If anything goes wrong, I will be watching. And if we need to steal, I can relay.
Okay. Subscenes. I think maybe we go down to where they are, and Caspian kind of sneaks away, kind of moves behind where the ground dwellers are sort of established, and kind of sneaks in through the back and kind of finds a spot where they can sort of see you two, but also could easily go in and take something if need be. And just finds a spot and waits for a signal. If you'd like someone else to do it, I will do it, Knox.
Just realized I've been muted this whole damn time. Great, I'm a professional. So Fawn is going to while Caspian is sort of waiting in the wings, I guess, as it were, Fawn's going to go ahead and enter the building where these sort of ground dweller people live, and they look very similar to the people that are actually living up in the Hanging City proper. As a matter of fact, there's not really a way to easily discern a difference, with the exception of maybe their clothes are a little less colorful due to lack of access to resources, and their abode itself, though, actually has a lot of random tchotchkes and things that are similar to what Fawn saw being lifted from the ground with the rope hoist. Yeah, the rope hoistway. Let's pick a different song. It's not quite what I'm looking for. So yeah, I think Fawn just sort of knocks on the door, and it's like a wooden door that's been sort of built together, hammer, nails. There's some gaps in it that you can see light pouring out, and they have like a yard with a bunch of random things in it, and Fawn knocks on the door, and it creaks open, and inside is one of the people that live there that, like mentioned before, there's not a clear difference, with the exception of just less colorful clothing, but their house is just full to the brim of stuff. And Fawn introduces herself. Her cover story is that she's traveled a long way from Ravenhall, and is in an effort to learn about different people living across the land, to fill the libraries at Ravenhall. And Vaughn has like a book and a piece and a writing utensil, and she walks in with them. They seem somewhat hesitant, but willing to sort of hear her out. And so she asks them some questions about themselves, who they are, what they're doing living here, and why they have so much random stuff, of which she does see housed in what's the name of those glass jars you're talking about? A bell jar?
Yeah, the bell jars.
Yeah. Housed in a bell jar is this scroll. And she finds out through this discussion that that they used to live above, but they began to disagree with the way the leader sort of ran the city, requiring that everyone sort of make a pledge of allegiance to the leader, and that even though the city was very had a high level of self-sustainability, that and everyone pitched in and worked, that sort of on the side the leader was asking some members of the city to partake in the stealing and theft of goods from above ground, neighboring cities, Stormguard Castle being one of them, and that they weren't comfortable participating in that lifestyle, and that they had an eventual falling out when they took drew a line in the sand, and so they were ostracized from the community. And Fawn points at the scroll and says, because everything else in this space is like metal and like raw materials, with the exception of the scroll, which seems to be receiving special treatment in this bell jar. And Fawn points at that and inquires about it, and they mention that it was plans for a heist on Castle Stormguard to raid the tomb and take some of the more valuable pieces from basically the body in the tomb that it had been entombed with, and that was their last straw. So they took that as part of their sort of final, we're not going to do this sort of thing. Fawn thanks them for their time. She heads out of their home and walks a decent enough ways away, where she can't be overheard, and sort of waits for Caspian and River to join her.
Okay. Seeing you emerge, I would go.
Yeah, River River just kind of appears from where they were watching and follows.
Did they give it to you?
No, I don't think we can take it. We can't take it.
What is it?
They were... Basically, the leader asked people to steal on her behalf. These people didn't want to do that. And they helped stop the Ragdraggers, I guess, from stealing from Stormguard Castle.
If we do not take it, can we go back? Just point up.
I think we can go back. We had to tell the Magus immediately. And I think
perhaps we steal it and we damage it. So we have done our job. But they do not learn those plans again.
Is an option.
Fawn looks at River. I think we should try it.
Okay.
Okay. And Caspian will kind of step back and just sort of disappear into a shadow and make his way to go steal it.
Ooh.
I guess with this type of game, I could just narrate that I do. That's how this works. I'll wait a bit because the scroll was just talked about, so attention might be on it. And Caspian will just sort of stay within range and just listening and wait for a moment before the individual in the building to exit before they kind of slip in and very, very quietly make their way over to the bell jar. Lift up the lid, take the scroll, pause for a minute, and then tuck it into their bag before grabbing a page out of that book they have and just scribbling, "We are sorry. Do not worry." And place that in the bell jar and close it. And then slip out and make their way back to the group. When they catch up, they kind of pull it out. Hand it to River.
How destroy?
Perhaps with water or drink, so it appears accidental.
That seems safe, smart. And they look around, see if there's any water, any standing water, anything that one could trip into, per se. And just a little off, there's a collection of water, and they pretend to trip into it and make sure that it's under them. So when they splash into it, it just gets soaked. And they're soaked on the front, so it looks like they tripped into the water. Walks back over and goes, "Completed."
Open the scroll to see if it's damaged enough to be unreadable and take my palm and rub a spot that was still pretty noticeable to smear the ink around. Roll it back up. Hand it back to River. Well done.
Thank you.
We need to talk to the mages.
Yes.
Yeah. Does someone want to narrate us up to the next moment? Or do we want to take a break because we're over break time? and then come back and finish it up, or what? How do we want to do this?
Let's take a break,
Okay.
if that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Okay. We will be back in 10 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
And we'll pick up where we left off. Thanks again so much for people that donated. I'm so excited that we reached our goal in one session. What the hell? So, yeah, maybe I'll just ask for $100 every game session. Okay, we'll be back. And we're back. And we're all back in various stages of foodening. So we're just gonna pick up right where we left off, which is, well, I guess before we kick back into things, I should offer a reminder. We are fundraising for Trans Lifeline, which is an amazing nonprofit organization providing services for the trans community. We've actually hit our fundraising goal really for this whole series. So thank you to everyone who helped get us there. But I think I'm probably just going to reset it for the next session so that we can just keep collecting money that people want to send, because the more money we can send to Trans Lifeline, the better. You can, as part of your donation, our donations are in tiers. I've posted the rewards in chat, so you can see sort of, you know, what you can request for bits or for you know, US dollars through the donation link included in the chat right now. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off in what has turned out to be a very long story prompt for what is it? What's the name of it? Kettle Bottom, a dirty job.
A dirty job.
Which, honestly, I had no idea what to even make of that, but here we are. We've made something of it. That's for damn sure. Trying to get back to some music. I did not plan to be underground, so I have no good music for any of these scenes. Before we went off to break, the scroll, River took the scroll and tripped into like some water or something, so that way and then Caspian opened it up and the river, the scroll appeared damaged beyond usability. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes.
Yes.
So I guess we're returning to the surface now and delivering the scroll.
Yeah.
Or are we going to see the Magus first?
What do you think, Abby?
Let's go to the Magus first, so we can explain what happened.
Okay.
Do we just want to sort of share responsibility for the Magus in that case, or do we want to narrate this or role play it out? What do we want to do?
I think we should role play it out.
Okay, we can do that. Okay, yeah, I think that we all walk up back to where we're staying, which is not far. Well, maybe it is far from the leader of the Ragger Dragger, if she's or Rag Draggers, whatever. If she's doing like underhanded stuff, maybe it's sort of like, I don't know, a couple districts over or whatever, and we're sharing quarters with the Magus.
Maybe we enter our quarters and Magus is over there and we stole the scroll. But it is a bad scroll. They should not have it.
I think the Magus just sort of nods silently.
We damaged it, so they cannot read it anymore.
The Magus finally responds quietly. That's why I wanted you all to go do this. I suspected that what she was asking of us, of you, what's actually happening here in this city. I suspected she had some secrets to hide. Hide away from me. But knowing that I'm in a vulnerable position, she could take advantage of that.
It is rude of her.
That's exactly right, River.
What do we do? Do we leave?
I think that might be a good idea. But we leave the scroll behind anyways. So that way we can leave on good terms. Even if we make a silent exit.
Caspian walks out of the room.
River just like looks after, uncertain why Caspian left. And then just sits down and thanks. I don't know why.
I think Fawn is also very confused by this whole thing, but she's just eager to leave. And I think she starts packing her things. She thinks she's expecting them to, you know, GTFO basically.
River sees that and stands up and does the same. Realizes that probably is a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think I like it here anymore.
The garden is nice, but the rest is not.
No. No, it isn't. Well, where do you want to go next?
Oh no. Not here.
At this point, do we want to narrate the rest of this out? Or just assume that we leave on good terms? How do we want to do this?
I have one more scene I'd like to do here before we leave.
Yeah, and I should have probably reminded everyone about this as well, which is these don't necessarily have to happen chronologically. It's kind of hard to do that in a game like this, you know?
Yeah. I would like to move Caspian to the vertical gardens, as he kind of has left. The prompt is temptation, so they make their way back up the city, sort of climbing the various pulley systems and jumping from rooftops and taking ropes up and trying to stay very quiet and sneaky while they move until they reach the gardens and look around to find their friend and make their way over. Would either of you like to be Caspian's new friend in this scene?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Remind me what Caspian's new friend is like. Whatever you already established.
Well, I didn't really establish it, so I'll establish it now. They are male presenting, tall, a member of the Rag Draggers, dark hair, a little scruffy looking. Caspian kind of approaches quietly. We're leaving.
Already?
Yes. There are things here that we cannot say.
Well, I can't say I'm too surprised. Didn't expect you to stick around.
I like it here. It reminds me of home. Do you like it here?
Kind of do. You can... Maybe when your trip is over, come back?
I do not think so.
Well, Caspian, it's been great knowing you for this short period of time.
I grab his hand.
And he returns the handhold.
I do not think I can come back because there are things here, people who are doing things in a bad way. You should leave too.
Caspian, I am one of those people.
But you don't have to stay one of those people. You should go to Mistwood. It is like here. It is my home.
Is that where you're going to?
It is where I hope to return to.
And how much time?
I do not know. I did bad things, but now I can do good things, helping the Magus.
So I guess that means we both did some bad things.
And we both can do good things now.
I'll visit. In a couple months' time. I need a vacation anyways.
then I will practice so I can tempt you to stay.
Anders! How do you expect me to keep a straight face through that?
I think Caspian will just kind of go up on their tiptoes and give just a gentle kiss on the lips goodbye, and then silent like a fox disappear after that.
And this individual just watches you, with a grin on his face, arms crossed, and then he turns and heads the opposite way. That was fun. I want to play more romance games.
Adorable.
Okay. That made my heart race.
Good.
I get very into the games. Okay. I make no apologies.
You shouldn't.
You really shouldn't. It's wonderful.
Okay. Are we moving on to the next place then?
Yeah,
Is that what's
I think
happening?
we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy guacamole. Okay. It is even the next place. So this is pretty looks like it's a pretty linear. Oh, no, wait.
Ooh, you have two options.
Yeah, we
It looks
do.
like they rejoin each other. So it's either through the jungle
Oh, to the sea.
or to the sea.
Sea of Salt or Dogtooth Jungle.
There's a little offshoot. Nope, I'm not supposed to look ahead. Never mind. I'm just gonna look at the jungle and the Sea of Salt and not let anything else determine my choice.
Sea of Salt. These places are cool.
Underwater or an underground bone sea, or like a fungus jungle. Oh, those are both so good.
They really are.
You two decide.
I love them so much.
Oh God, it's so good. Just a giant. Oh, this is such a hard question. Because also like, oh, the prompts, like really interesting. Oh, that's a. Ooh.
I'm leaning a bit towards the Dogtooth jungle, but I could go either way.
Hmm. You know what? I'm gonna do the oldest trick in the book.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna be the tiebreaker because I can't help you here.
Flip a coin.
I'm rolling a d6.
Perfect.
What do we want to say odds and evens are?
Odd is the jungle, even is the sea.
We're going to the jungle. I vote a 1.
All right.
Does anyone feel disappointed that we're not going to the sea?
I want to go everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, you have to play this game a couple times, I guess. Alrighty. Let us pony on along. Who wants to be the Magus?
Oh, that's right.
Who's gonna set the scene for what Beneath the Purple Sun looks like?
Oh,
Sounds
that's
like
so.
Yeah, that's one hell of a prompt.
I would be happy to do it, but I did just do a scene. So if someone else would like to do it, please go ahead.
I'm totally good skipping out on the Magus this time because I think I described the Hanging City.
Yeah. And I have no ideas for what the beneath the purple sun could mean. There's so many things it could mean.
Okay, we're gonna get a little weird with it.
Good.
So as the group exits the Hanging City, for several days it's just dark tunnels. And it's a quiet journey. There's a lot of introspection that occurs. How a place that was so welcoming had this beneath the surface, literally. And everyone spends quite a bit of time just in thought about what just happened. And we're kind of lulled into this sense of boredom and emotional exhaustion as we travel down these dark tunnels. But as it begins to become unbearable, there is a literal light at the end of the tunnel. We begin to notice the skin on our hands and on the faces of our traveling companions take on this faint purple hue. As we exit this sort of underground traveled road, we're met with a vast cavern. A cavern so large it could hold an entire city or an entire jungle. And the entire place is illuminated by lichen and fungi and crystals that sort of make up this huge chandelier of life on the ceiling, all resonating this faint purple glow. And the air beneath this purple glowing crystal, this purple sun, as it were, is speckled with dust mites and spores that sort of rise up from the jungle beneath. And in the center, almost like a monument, this stone, perhaps it's stone. It's hard to tell from how far away we are. Perhaps it is something else. But this strange protrusion of almost ivory white in the shape of a dog's tooth. And we begin to travel downward into the jungle itself. And purple light.
That was lovely. I love that. I'm glad you did that. That was cool.
Not quite a sun, but I didn't know how to make it a real sun, so
You did it. Yeah, you did it. Amazing. So our prompts here are trailblazing, sign of travelers past, fruiting groves, a dangerous medicine, which has the
little symbol next to it.
I
I
think
haven't
that's,
treated about what that is.
yeah, I think that's the trait. Oh, no. It's change. So a leaf symbol indicates a change. Before you end your turn, change or remove something from your note card. So if you remember, like, in your actual Roll20 character sheets, if you received a trait, or something, you should have typed it in there. But that's what it's referencing. We obviously don't have note cards. Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. Ignore that. Before you end your turn, change or remove something from your note card. This could be your name, your title, or a trait, of which was the things I was talking about. then describe why your character thinks this is true.
Interesting.
Yeah, that could be fun. Then we have, so Fruiting Groves, a dangerous medicine, is a change prompt. And then we have Violet Dawn, what grew overnight. Dogtooth Spar, an inspiring view.
These are all so good.
I know, this is a fun one too. I'm glad we came underground. Things get real interesting down here.
What are y'all thinking?
Oh gosh, I really wanted to the change one, but I just don't think. I don't think. I don't think Fawn has anything to change. I don't think she has anything to change. That's shit. Yeah. I feel like she's still pretty defined by her title, and I don't see a reason for her to change her name.
Yeah, same with River. Like, name, title, don't see why. And slowly realizing that, like, River's part of the story is discovering, like, as you said, discovering beauty. I'm starting to realize that River's also discovering beauty in themselves.
Oh, that's so good.
So, and one of their traits already was beautiful. So I kind of have to keep that.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good one, though. It's such a good idea.
Shit. I think I'm gonna go to an inspiring view. I think I want to go with the Magus. And who would like to play the Magus?
I'm going to pass simply because I think I've done 2 large scenes in a row, and I'd like to step back for a second.
That's fair. I'll be the Magus.
All right. So to kick us off, I think Fawn heads up there. To the top of the Dogtooth, hence the name. She manages to find a way to climb to the top. And I think maybe she finds the Magus up there. If I can go ahead and place the Magus to start. And she walks next to the Magus, sits down. She's still wearing her raven sort of uniform. She sits down and pulls her legs up to her chest. And places her chin on her knees. And just sort of takes in the view for a moment quietly, since they're up so high, impossibly in this underground area, and all of the growth and the purple lighting, and it creates this sort of really magical environment. And I think she kind of mutters to herself, at some point to the Magus. When we get to Umbra, what then?
And we're at the end.
We just say goodbye to you then?
I do not know. I'll be honest. It is the end of a journey, but I do not know. Perhaps it will be the beginning of another journey for you.
I mean, when we get to Umbra, this is all that I've ever known is being at Ravenhall, being a raven, serving the Magus. I mean, do I just wait for you?
No. No, Fawn. You go on. You will have served.
What do I go on to do?
Be like a raven. Fly. Explore. Learn.
But, I mean, don't ravens have nests or something they always go back to?
And you, like they, have a nest. It is Ravenhall. You always have a home in Ravenhall.
Is it really a home without you, though?
I like to think so.
Yeah, I guess you would. It's really pretty up here.
It is. It is amazing.
I'm glad I could see it with you.
That is why you are here.
Yeah.
You are here to explore, to see.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Fawn. I'm sure you've wondered why I picked you.
Yeah.
Because I had faith that this is what you needed. You needed to see the world, see how wonderful it can be, and see how much knowledge there is for you to catalog, to find, to experience. You serve well, but no one wants to keep a bird in a cage forever. And no bird should be kept in a cage forever.
It's just very scary out here.
That is why you have friends. River, Caspian, all our lovely knight, they're with us. So you have friends. So you have people to make the world less scary with.
So you think we're friends, huh?
I like to hope.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think at this point Fawn stands up kind of nervously. I'm gonna go check on Caspian.
That sounds good. I will see you later. As the Magus is just like almost like a child taking in all of the growth.
Okay. Thank you, Magus.
Thank you.
And I think Fawn sort of not quite skips off, but walks off just a little bit lighter than when she first climbed up. And that's it.
Yeah.
Great Magus.
Thank you.
I was muted.
Welcome back.
I'm back. I would like to do a scene with River at the Fruiting Groves.
Okay.
Now, if I ask River to be in the scene, does that mean I'm asking River to also do a change, or is the change just me? Because I don't want to, like, invite you to a scene and then you have to change and you maybe didn't want to. It's just a mechanical question, I guess.
Yeah. It's a good question.
It doesn't really indicate on here one way in the instructions one way or another. So I would say that since it's your idea to go to do the scene in this location, that should definitely happen for you, and it's 100% up to Abby if she wants to have that happen for River.
Okay. So I think this Fruiting Grove is a grove with trees that are bearing these strange like yellowish green, almost like lemons, but they're not quite the same shape. They're a bit more bulbous and ugly they don't have the nice symmetry. And Caspian is currently collecting a bunch of them into like a little basket, and then brings them over and sits down next to River and begins to like cut them open and squeeze them into some cups. Just cuts another one and squeezes it. Then hands one of the cups to River.
River's thanks. Why?
Wait. Don't drink yet.
Okay.
And Caspian's gonna reach into their bag and pull out a not yet used or seen flask and twist it open and pour a decent amount into their cup. Offer it to River.
River accepts.
Pours it in. Screws it back up, puts it in the bag. Looks at their cup and drinks the whole thing in one go.
Looks at Caspian, looks at the cup, sighs,
Only if you want to.
shrugs, and then just downs it. Why not?
I am feeling wrong about what we just did.
The drink or the hanging?
The drink is to help me feel better about what we did.
Why do you feel wrong?
I think for the sake of this mission, we let them get away with what they were doing.
That is true.
We destroyed the plans, but even if they are destroyed now, they could just acquire them how they got them the first time. Again.
Delaying the inevitable.
Caspian begins to pour more fruit into the cup. I am small and quick and come from nothing. I learned to steal, and it only made sense. I feel like I am a hypocrite for judging them.
Did you steal because necessity or because fun?
At the beginning, it was necessity, but it is also fun. And I was good at it.
You did get caught.
But only once.
Fair. They do not steal for necessity. They steal because fun. We should have done something more.
We should have done something more. Flask in my cup. Offer it to River.
River takes some more.
Have you ever been drunk, River?
Maybe. I don't remember. But maybe.
Being drunk will not help you remember, but it can help you feel better. It's a dangerous medicine. It prolongs the inevitable. It does not fix.
That is a dangerous medicine indeed.
Downs it.
River downs half. And then
When we are finished, I want to go back home. But I do not want to steal anymore.
that is a valiant effort.
I will have to find something new to be good at.
You were good at many things. Perhaps use your skills for non-theft.
Thank you for drinking with me and talking to me.
It is a pleasure.
I'm going to have one more drink, and then I'm going to go find a tree to fall asleep in.
That seems both smart and vastly dangerous.
That seems like me. And I think that's seems like a good kind of place to end the scene.
Yeah. Very lovely, melancholy scene.
Yes, quite.
Oh, you have to do your change.
I do. I want to change from being the fox. But I don't remember what my choices are.
Let's see. I will remind you. So changing your title from the Fox of Mistwood, you could be the Giant or the Ranger.
I think I will be the ranger from Mistwood.
Okay. Very nice. You should be able to edit that in your character sheet instead of Roll20. And that was lovely.
Yeah. Also, the ranger is, that sounds like using the abilities of the fox for less nefarious purposes.
For less sneaky sneak for purposes, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to an excellent stopping point. This was another great session. I'm so excited to have Anthony back with us for the next one. To close us out, let's go ahead around the table. Introduce yourself, where we can find you on the internet. Something exciting, something you're excited about to share. And then I'll wrap it up at the end. Anders, do you want to kick us off?
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, sorry, and your favorite, if you have a favorite moment.
Okay, so I'm Anders. You can find me at Anders_D_K on the internets. I was gonna plug what's happening in 5 minutes, but it's not happening anymore. Our Salt Marsh campaign that normally is at 6, that I DM, we're going to postpone it because we have a couple players out, and it's the finale, and it would feel really hard to do the finale missing so many people.
We did.
So we're going to postpone that. So be on the lookout for a finale date. I am going to plug, it's not me, I'm going to plug at Jehus the Moose, Jehuse, the Moose, because while we were playing, she sent me a beautiful new icon for Twitter and Discord and all social medias, and it's gorgeous, and she's great, and so I'm going to plug her because I love her very much and she does really good work and you should commission her. My favorite moment was, I had so many. I really liked being a little romantic with Nox, but I also really liked River learning to dance. That was really sweet and I loved it. And I love River's storyline of finding beauty in themselves, and it just makes my heart so happy.
That's awesome. I agree. Sorry, I'm trying to post their Twitter account into the chat.
Oh, awesome.
And yes, Anders, your new icon looks amazing.
She did so good.
Yeah.
I said, I like cats and I like space, and she said, send me pictures of your cats, and then I had an icon.
I love it.
Oh.
It looks so good.
I will find this icon.
Yeah, you gotta go check Anders' Twitter account. Awesome. Abby, where can we find you on the internet? Do you have anything you're excited about? And your favorite moment too.
Abby, you can find me on Twitter at Citrine Warlock, and that's pretty much all you can You can find me on the
Yeah, and
Discord,
mhm,
Discord and Twitter.
mhm.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm excited just for the rest of the story and everything else going on. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, my favorite moment has to either be River learning to dance or the siren. Just
Yeah.
just River in general having a very romantic couple days.
Mm.
Yeah, that was the theme of this session was
Yeah,
romance.
there was a lot of romance.
Yeah.
Fun is just being romantic with herself.
You know, you gotta love yourself.
You really
Yeah.
do. I don't know. Oh, whatever. Awesome. My name is Nox. You can find me on the internet at NoxNoctua, where I tweet about whatever I want, but especially games. I'm also a member of the Creative Council here on Variant Rules. We are a community-oriented, supportive incubator for streams. So that means if you've always wanted to try playing in a streamed game but you've been nervous, or you want to run a streamed game but you've been nervous, we provide 100% organizational support for your games. That includes ways for you to cast your games within the community. If you need someone to run production, we'll do that. If you need assets like overlays, we can also help you with that as well. So that way all you have to do is come in and run your game like you would normally. You can follow us on Twitter at Variant Roles. You can also see our previous programming on YouTube. Search for us there. We don't have a unique URL at this time. But yeah, watch our Twitter for open casting calls. We do have our Salt Marsh community game still going. And then when Descent into Avernus, I think that's the actual name, comes out, we are planning to create another large-scale community game around that, and we're all very excited. Is there anything else going on? I do want to make sure that I plug some of the content that's happening on our channel. I'm not going to go through all of it, because it's a lot. So, is this the command? Nope. Help if I spelled it right, huh? Let's try this again. Oh. Okay. Chat is right to my heart. Brain.
Oh,
I know. My heart. Hi, Finn. What was I saying? Oh yes, tonight. Stick around for later tonight. Our Invisible Sun series, As the Sun Burns, returns. As the Suns Burn returns. It was in here in the schedule, 9 p.m. Eastern. Our After Dark content. So things can get a little spicy, especially in chat sometimes. But oh, but yeah, this has been great. We're gonna be back again in this same time slot, raising more funds for Trans Lifeline. Again, thank you so much for everyone that donated. We hit our goal. We hit our goal and then some. So yeah, very excited about all this. Can't wait to come back with our fourth player, Anthony. Bring him back into the loop. Until then, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday, rest of your weekend. Hopefully, we'll see you tonight. Bye.